BoMac says Terence Crawford will pick Errol Spence Azz apart in the rematch. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red. But let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, recently, trainer of Terence Bud Crawford, BoMac, put out a statement. He said that Crawford is going to pick Errol Spence apart in the rematch. I want to break that down as well as what's going on with BoMac at the moment for anybody listening.
Now I will say the one thing where I was like, dang, as I thought when Errol hit him, I thought he would at least be able to buzz him. But like when Buzz said in the post-fight interview with Stephen A, he was like he hit him on the button and he was like, dang, that's all you got?
Alright, y'all, so will Terence Crawford pick Errol Spence apart in the rematch? And how is he going to go about doing that without his coach, BoMac, with the situation that he's in at the moment? Now, here's the thing. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with BoMac. Nobody can say officially. Nobody can say for sure what's going to happen. But what I do know about the UK and England and their gun rules is they have zero tolerance when it comes to guns.
You got shit all over the back of your ass. Hey, don't sit on that couch. Put some paper down.
That's why you heard so much about people getting stabbed over there, and most of the hardcore guys are gangsters over there. They're usually involved in stabbings or buck 50s or beating people up with sticks and stuff like that. It's not really a lot of shootings going on over there. Now, I'm not saying they don't have guns over there. They do have guns over there, but the majority of violent crimes involve either a bat or a knife in the UK. So, the thing about BoMac and his situation is we don't know what the rules are over there as far as that. Now, I do know he's in extra trouble because he tried to carry it through an airport.
You starting to think like a dog. Leave them fleas and ticks sucking on your old ass brain.
And there are certain rules that involve carrying a gun from country to country and licenses, and we don't know if the weapon was licensed. The weapon was loaded, so it makes it even worse. So there are a lot of strikes going against BoMac, as well as the fact that he already has a criminal record. Now, I don't know how they're going to go about, using that against him when it comes to his court date. I don't know if that makes it even worse or if it doesn't really matter because he's in a different country.
You raised him to be a backslider just like yourself.
Believe me, they're most likely going to look into that. Now, I'm not sure if they can charge him, worse because of that once again, or if it doesn't really matter. But what I do know is if BoMac isn't in the corner of Terence Crawford, it might not have the biggest effect, but it's definitely going to cause some type of confusion.
If you ain't out of here, by the time I count to 3, I put a lump on your head, look like a wig on top of a natural, on top of a wig.
Because BoMac's usually the guy giving the advice. You're going to have other guys wanting to step up. You're going to have other guys saying that, hey, it should be me doing this. If he's not allowed to come back by the time the fight happens, you're going to have those trainers saying, hey, well, I want to be the front guy. This guy's going to, and it could cause a lot of confusion within Terence Crawford's camp.
We'll have conversations about things that will evolve us and make sure we can dream, and whatever we see will make come true.
That could possibly trigger things for Errol Spence to be more in his favor. I think Errol Spence is going to have a great showing in the second fight. I'm of the belief that he looked so bad because of the weight, Now, whether that was his fault or whether Terence Crawford came up with a strategy and waited him out and knew that Errol Spence was walking around way too heavy to be able to lose the weight.
So I think it was more so about Errol than Bud being associated with Snack and Victor Conte. I think it was more about Errol running 5 miles 4 days before the fight, coming up late. Bud was in Vegas a month early, training
in a natural, comfortable manner to where it wasn't going to affect his performance or not. I can't say 100% for sure, but this is a strategy game, and he was holding out for something. Now, some people are saying he was holding out for the snacks to leave his system. Some people say he was holding out because he knew Errol Spence couldn't make the weight. Now, Errol Spence, I think, made a mistake by even mentioning that. I think that's something he should have kept to himself until the fight actually happened, and he shouldn't have really put that info out there. And I think him putting that info out there gave Terence Crawford bait to chew on, and, you know, it didn't catch Terence Crawford. He just snatched the bait off the hook and ran off with that fight. You know, I think that he got a one-up in that fight, and I think that you have to pat him on the back for that. You're playing a strategy game. You have to strategize, and he strategized very well for that specific fight. In this fight, it's going to be totally different. I think there was other things that were said as well, even by some of Terence Crawford's own family and friends, about him running heels the day before the fight, him not showing up to Vegas early. When it comes to that fight, they were saying that Terence Crawford showed up early to Vegas. And if all this information was leaked about Errol Spence and Team Crawford already knew it, then you should have no other, you know, argument other than, yeah, Terence Crawford knew about the weight, and he used that to his advantage.
Oh, sure, he'll seduce you with his promises of a better life. But what if it turns out there's no place for you? That's right, Hershey and Scrape was dwarf toss for money. Until they disqualified him when they found out he was a midget. And where was your damn integration then?
In the second fight, I think not only Dedrick James, but I think Errol Spence is going to be locked in. Dedrick James had a lot going on as well. I believe he had a Anthony Joshua fight either right before or right after the Errol Spence fight. I believe it was right after. But, you know, that can cause confusion as well. I don't think there's going to be any confusion this time around. I think you're going to see the most locked in Errol Spence that you've ever seen. And one reason I think that is because he has no excuses this time around. Now, the excuse was the first time, once again, and this was his own saying, and he said this even a year, maybe a year and a half before the fight took place, I can't make the weight. 154, he's never said he couldn't make 154 comfortably. So when the fight happens at 154, there are no excuses. Either you're going to come out there and perform, or you're going to get whooped and possibly have to retire, because this will be the second embarrassment of your career, and a lot of people are not going to let you, you know, live that down.
Everybody want to create a black business, but do we truly support each other? We have to change that, because we think their products are better than ours. And that's the misconception that we have to change.
It's going to be very hard for you to sell a fight after that. I'm not saying it's not possible to sell a fight after just 2 losses, but this is the Floyd Mayweather era. Everybody thinks you have to have an O to be credible. So people are not going to buy your fights when you got 2 losses in this day and time, unfortunately. Now, as far as what BoMac said about, you know, Terence Crawford whooping his ass and picking him apart, you know, it's going to depend. You know, this is uncharted territory for Terence Crawford. 154, he's never been there before. He's never carried that type of weight as a professional boxer before. You know, we don't know if it's going to slow him down, speed him up. We don't know if BoMac had something specifically ready for Terence Crawford as far as 154 goes, and now that BoMac's in trouble, you know, he can't implement his strategy, and Terence Crawford has to come up with new strategies with his other coaches. So it's going to be a lot of confusion on the Crawford side. I think it's going to be less confusion on the Spence side, and that gives him a 1-up in the second fight. Trilogy, I think it's going to happen. I think it's most definitely going to be a trilogy. Whether Errol Spence beats him and beats him convincingly, or whether Errol Spence just gives him a heck of a fight this time around and people are just clamoring for the third fight.
This 106, now he decided to just walking through Cotto? Come on, man. And Cotto, everybody else Cotto hit, he getting up out of it. Cotto can't knock down Mosley, but he can? Come on, man. This is how this world is, man. You got writers just like this. Like, no, Floyd is scared. No, Floyd cares about his family. Floyd is smart.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, format, share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. And we are
I got a plan, better yet a blueprint, 100,000 CDs, trying to start a movement. Mama told me pray about it, you can do it. Daddy told me they gon' give you shit, you gotta prove it. So I'm back with my true shit, me against you like a bat against a toothpick. But yet I'm still on my cool shit, calming niggas down when they wanna pop a few clips and leave your brains on your collarbone. Hey, your ass all gone like Carter Holmes. If you're feeling like I'm fly, you are not alone. But you a bitch, get your runway model on. I'm fly. You ain't never heard a track this clean. You ain't never heard a flow this mean. You ain't never seen a nigga this high. You ain't never seen a nigga this fly than a set of wings. I'm fly than you ever seen. I'm fly than them other guys. I'm flyest motherfucker alive. Show a player love when I approach ya. Bang on tracks, keep my mic in a holster. Your boy ain't missing, but his face on posters. A young fresh nigga, bad as fly as a vulture. I stay around dead guys, try and make my bread rise. Potent marijuana, give me red eyes. And I ain't lying, you can smell it on me. I ain't let the bouncer hit it, so he telling on me. Nigga, run along and tell your homies. I don't even know your homie, I can tell you phony. My guest list keeps some felons on it. It's like my lid got helicopter propellers on it. I'm fly. You ain't never heard a track this clean. You ain't never heard a flow this mean. You ain't never seen a nigga this high. You ain't never seen a nigga this fly than a set of wings. I'm fly than you ever seen. I'm fly than them other guys. I'm flyest motherfucker.